when there is good TV shows, and they are few and far between, I'm all about the writing and the storytelling. And one of them ended not this month. I'm kind of backtracking to December 15th, but got to bring this topic up because this is just such a good show. Yellowstone came to an end. Ross, I know you briefly talked about this for a second, and I cut you off because I said I didn't see it. So I was such a guy that always I work out, and I go out. I literally, when the Wonder Years went off the air in like 93, 94, I was just out. Like I didn't see any. I never saw Seinfeld. I never saw Friends. There's so many shows. ER. I never saw a lot of that stuff. So I kept saying, one day, when there's a reason, when I'm old, most likely, I'm going to catch up on everything. But 2020 finally happened. After about 4 months in, all I kept hearing was about the show. And I'm like, I don't think like Montana's like going to work for me. But I gave it a shot, and I got right into it. And then I realized who the writer was. And I was like, oh, man, this guy knows his history.
Who's the writer?
This guy does all his research, Taylor Sheridan.
Yep.
It's ballpark. This guy's done Yellowstone, 1883, Lioness, the Stallone one, Tulsa King.
Tulsa King's sick.
Yeah. But I could jump in 1883. I think that might be the best one because
I agree.
It's the Oregon Trail story, basically of how for everybody who's running around saying, I know the world, blah, blah, blah. Learn to sacrifice for you before you start speaking what people went through. But what a great show. I just straight across Ross. I mean, this is this one amazing show, amazing characters. You got like 6 good characters that get a lot of airtime. You get all their backstory. You got you got your Daltons that are trying to protect this land that they've had for 7 generations. Yep. You got the Indian tribe who is basically saying, we're going to get your land back the American way. We're going to buy this out. We're going to run you out here one way or another. And then you got California basically coming and saying, nah, we're going to turn all this into a ski resort. Mm-hmm. And it's just so good. I could go on forever. Everybody loves Beth Dalton. Everyone who's ever laid eyes on her. Beth Dalton's so hot. When she was burnt, she was still hot after that. She really was. It's like, I don't care about that. She's just so hot.
Well, apparently she was very hot after that.
Yeah.
There you go. I see what you did there.
Ross, jump in here.
Okay.
We'll get to the ending because we might be a little different on that one. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be probably a little bit different on that. So, so like Lauren said, I'm not up on everything, but I'm most up on most things that involve action or crime. So I put Yellowstone in that category somewhat. Absolutely love the first 4 seasons. The prequel, as Lauren said, which is it's Faith Evans, and who plays the lead? It's the Tim McGraw. Is it?
Tim McGraw. Yeah.
I didn't really know that guy had that kind of acting pedigree. Obviously, I know him from his like music career. I was so impressed with that dude's performance in 1883.
Is that Faith Hill?
Faith. That's what I meant. Faith Hill. So that I think is like the best prequel. The first 4 seasons incredible. Up until that point, Taylor Sheridan's writing incredible. There's also 1923, Lauren. I don't know if you caught up on that. That's the
I saw it. I put that last place. Like that was the least interesting story. Like if someone wants to rip on that, I'm not going to really.
It's kind of like mid. It's just like average Yellowstone, but the whole. So it's about the Dutton family. Crime family, depending on who you're asking. Of course, I'm a Costner fan. Who isn't? I felt like it got unfocused, Lauren. After so as soon as Taylor started, I don't know if you know how much of the backstory Lauren, but Taylor and Costner have essentially a disagreement. It kind of ruined the show, in my opinion. I thought that so they split season 5 into 2 halves, and I thought that first half just kind of started getting like repetitive. You could clearly see Costner was on his way out. I'll let Lauren kind of explain what happens. And
my biggest thing, because we're talking about, was this season 5, right? It wasn't season 6?
Yeah, so it's season 5 and then season 5 part 2. You call it season 6.
So you have that first part where Kevin Costner's in it. And then immediately, once his character is written off the show, you do feel like, because it's about him. and he's
John
gone
Galt.
now.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I still liked it. I can't defend it. People are going to like come down on it, but you got Casey and Monica's story. You got Rip and Beth. You got Jamie, which is the only thing I could say is like, you knew what was going to happen to Jamie. It was just when was it going to finally happen?
Yeah, for sure. Karma.
You know, and I really love that wrap up at the end. I mean, them getting the land back and all that. Yeah. And I dug the whole. Did I tell you one thing, Ross? When they were pushing the tombstones over, I was screaming in my chair. I was like, come on, man.
That was wild. Yeah. I mean, again, so like, you know, like my ex-girlfriend's native, so I know a lot about the reservations and how these things like actually, you know, affect people. So I thought the natives were represented really well. That main character who does all the business with John, like he's on a, you know,
forgetting his name,
bodyguard dude. He always has with him. Amazing characters. Luke Grimes plays Casey. I really liked his arc earlier on when he just was kind of unleashing. You know, he's like a special operative, but comes home to defend the ranch. And then obviously Rip is Cole Hauser, who, you know, everyone should know him from Riddick, and, you know, just an amazing actor. But I got to say, my honest opinion, and again, like, you know, me and Lauren are open about this stuff. And I'm telling you guys, like, season 1 through 4, probably literally like my favorite show at the time. How I felt about Walking Dead when it first came out, Lauren, like that type of energy. But as Lauren said, Taylor Sheridan's now doing Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
So good.
Tulsa King. I haven't seen that yet, but I got to check it.
Oh, dude,
Tulsa King with Stallone. I'm a Stallone fanboy. I'm Sicilian from the East Coast. And then 1883 and 1923 and Yellowstone. I personally just think it's a lot on one dude's plate. He's an amazing writer, but I felt I could see him spreading himself.
He's about to, this would be up Dave's alley too, because he's a history buff. He's about to do a series on the Comanche.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard
about that.
Yeah. And about the woman leader, too. I've heard whose name escapes me at the moment. But, yeah. But
the dude's an incredible writer, but it's just like when you have 4 or 5 shows, that's not like when you were writing 2 or 3 shows.
He goes into, like just to jumping over here to Landman a second, like he goes and breaks down, like people just don't understand energy. And, like, he brings that all to the plate of, like, you want to go fossil fuel over here? Like, oh, those big giant windmills they think are saving the world, they're running by diesel fuel. Like you're not saving anything. Like,
yeah, there's electric cars. You know, if the energy is created with fossil fuels,
you're refilling it. It's one I'm not one of them of people that says like we got to stick on gas and oil, and I understand we got to find something, but like we're not there yet.